For those of you that love talking about animals, from Sci News, Regaliceratops peterhewsi, new horned dinosaur discovered in Canada. Paleontologists at the Royal Tyrrell Museum of Paleontology in Drumheller, Canada, have described a new genus and species of ceratopsid horned dinosaur that lived during the Cretaceous period about 68 million years ago. And now, from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. Welcome to Creature Guide Live Prehistoric News. Hit that subscribe button so we can dive right back into the prehistoric news of the day. I don't know why, but this shared topsid sounds like it knows a lot of martial arts, but they did not have the biomechanics to do so. Anyway, the prehistoric creature named Regaliceratops peterhewsi is a close relative of the familiar Triceratops and belongs to Ceratopsidae, a group of large-bodied plant-eating dinosaurs that evolved in the Cretaceous period and were largely restricted to Western North America. So far, we don't know specifically what group of ceratopsians that Regaliceratops belong to, but if it does definitely have a very distinct frill. This is not a horn structure that you usually see in Chasmosaurians or Centrosaurs, which are the two families of ceratopsian of the ceratopsian lineage. So let's keep going. He has very small horns, though, on top of his eyes. This is pathetic for larger species of ceratopsid, and instead, he had an elongated nasal horn. So I'm guessing he might be a centrosaur. However, the way that the horns on the top of the frill are structured is more of a chasmosaur trait. So I really don't have an idea. Ceratopsid dinosaurs are divided into two subgroups: Chasmosaurians, which include Triceratops and the new species, and Centrosaurians. Oh, okay, so he's a Chasmosaur. That's actually a bit shocking. Centrosaurians went extinct several million years before the Chasmosaurians, which went extinct at the end of the Cretaceous along with all the other dinosaurs. That's just always sad to read. Characteristically, even though my ancestors were being eaten continuously, it's one of those points where you're just like, eh. Anyway, characteristically, Chasmosaurians have a small nose horn, large horns over their eyes, and shield-like frills with simple scalloped edges. Let's see. Um, yeah, that's what's odds with this creature. It's a complete opposite. So let's take a look at another individual. Now, this is you. Okay, so this is Myceraceratops, which was found in New Mexico. And this individual lived in the States around 76 million years ago during the late Campanian stage of the Cretaceous period. And it is a member of the Centrosaur lineage. Now, Centrosaurs tend to be viewed as the single horned ceratopsians, but there are actually a number of Centrosaurs that have three horns on their face, just like the chasmosaurs like Triceratops or Pentaceratops do. So,
What is that? Is it a goat that has the horns that go into its face?
certain species do, but
That's what this
well,
reminds me of.
not goats. I'm thinking actually it's possible ibex. It's occurred to ibex, but I'm thinking of sheep, like bighorn sheep. Um, then there's Babirusa, but that's a pig. Those are tusks. But yes, could certain centrosaurs or ceratopsians in general have that occurred to them? I don't know. There are different species of ceratopsian that at certain stages of their life would have had somewhat curved horns, but they tend to then straighten out as they would have aged. So, though there were certain species like the Myceraceratops, for example, that had curved horns on the top of its skull. This is a very distinct um, centrosaur trait or ceratopsia just in general with these long of horns occurring at the top of their frill. Could a ceratopsian like Macaraceratops, who could reach a length of over 26 feet or pushing 8 meters and weigh around 2 tons, throw something like a Gorgosaurus in the air? Yeah, young enough. Well, I mean, you could probably have it where um, the Macaraceratops might have been able to topple over a full grown Gorgosaurus, but that's pushing a little over 3 tons, so that might be a bit of an exaggeration. I'd say definitely a 1.5 ton individual, a Macaraceratops is definitely capable of throwing in the air. No, they did not have venom in their horns, but this is a really good picture. I mean, like I said, this is probably pretty realistic, except the two animals having their tongues stick up in the air. And it would have stayed completely flat. Actually, this Tyrannosaur is really not that bad, except there's no evidence for an adult having feathers, but this would still be like a subadult at most. So, is there another? Oh, okay. So there would have been a wide range of different species of centrosaurs, such as Diabloceratops, which the Macaraceratops is closely related to within the centrosaur family, as well as Yehoceratops or Yehoceratops, which yes was discovered in Big Bend of Texas.
Yeehaw, Ceratops.
Uh, it's either Yehoceratops or Yehoceratops. These other chasmosaurs down here, and
Does
then
it
you
wear a hat?
Yeah, that's of course good. And then here you have a smaller species of Pachycephalosaur, the Stegosaurus, which could reach around 6 feet or pushing 1.8 meters, and probably weigh somewhere around 80 pounds, a little over 35 kilograms. And these animals, for the larger species of dinosaurs, even medium or smaller species, well, it's a bit of debate to the smaller species, but um, they were practically harmless, though they were carnivores. And they had a very robust dome on the top of their skull. But likely they were just feeding on different species of amphibians, reptiles in the area, maybe even smaller species of crocodilomorphs that roamed the late Cretaceous period. Stegosaurus existed around 72 million years ago during the early Maastrichtian stage of the Cretaceous. So let's head back to the article. Hmm, let's see. Oh, so Regaliceratops peterhewsi is unexpected because it shows the exact opposite pattern. Large nose horn. Oh wait, did I already say this? I already said that. Okay. This new species is a chasmosaurin, but it has ornamentation more similar to centrosaurines. It also comes from a time period following the extinction of the centrosaurines. Taken together, that makes this the first example of evolutionary convergence in horned dinosaurs, meaning that these two groups independently evolved similar features. Wow, that is a huge skull. This is only a 2-ton animal. That is massive. Oh well, no
And
wait,
it's complete.
I'm thinking of Macaraceratops, not this new individual. I'm going to guess this animal would have weighed at least 5 to 6 tons. Even that seems like an underestimate. Um, it's definitely probably feeding on different species of flowers where inhabited in the region of where do they find this? Canada. It could be feeding on different species of younger conifers as well. I'm just looking real quick. Yep. Oh wait. Well, no. In Canada, a certain paleontologist described a new genus. Is he from there? Well, when it comes to this part of the Cretaceous, which I'm guessing I know keep oh, okay, so 68 million years ago. It's likely. Many even different species of ceratopsian that were living in Wyoming, Montana, um, let's see, Colorado were bound to migrate into Canada um, during the Maastrichtian stage. So this animal also had evolved at the time at around the beginning of the era of T Rex. So it's very likely that Regaliceratops would have come into contact with T Rex as well as Nanotyrannus. So it missed the less, in quote, dangerous tyrannosaurs earlier in the Cretaceous. So the nearly intact skull of Regaliceratops peterhewsi was discovered by Calgary resident Peter Hughes, a geologist in the petroleum industry in southeastern Alberta in 2005. Oh, okay. Well,
So he struck a dinosaur instead of oil.
yep. Um, Yeah, that's great. I mean, Alberta, yeah, it's bound to happen. Though the interesting thing is that it happened in yeah, southeastern Alberta, but I wonder where's by Calgary. Yeah, it's bound to happen. I was thinking of somewhere else. Anyway, let's take a look at somebody else. So this is a rarely talked about individual. So this is Thanatotherastus, which is a species of Tyrannosaur closely related to the Daspletosaur species. And more specifically, it does belong to the Daspletosaurinae lineage of Tyrannosaurs. Now this it's almost like he's cheerful, but he's like a bit stern at the same time. Now, his teeth shouldn't be exposed, but besides that, If he had feathers, certain medium-sized species of tyrannosaurs, like even um, Yui tyrannus, or was it Yui tyrannus, another species from more northern areas of the Earth, tend to be shown with feathers. But also, especially as you hit like Gorgosaurus over in Alaska, it's possible he might have had feathers. But anyway, it's likely that this animal was feeding on different species of hadrosaur at the time. The Thanatothuristes could reach over 30 feet in length or pushing 9 meters and probably weigh somewhere around 2.5 to 3 tons. Um, and it's very possible that this animal would have hunted in packs. And so let's see. Yeah, it's just okay. We passed the candy one. Um, yeah, this is a very good individual. I can't tell if that's his teeth sticking out, but if they, I don't know what those are supposed
It
to
looks like he
represent.
has tiny bits of tooth.
Yeah, I don't. So ignoring that, this is a really good representation. He also has quite large arms compared to his body size when it comes to the Tyrannosaurus, and they're quite muscular too. I mean,
That was
this
my first thought.
he
I'm looking at the muscles on his arm.
he has been definitely curling like young Centrosaurs. Like one, two, okay, Dromaeosaur calorie supplement. Anyway, um, let's head back to the article. Let's see. The specimen comes from a geographic region of Alberta where we have not found horned dinosaurs before. Oh, so it wasn't just me. It did sound like this was coming from an area where it's quite rare to find any dinosaurs. So, from the onset, we knew it was important. Despite the formal name, Dr. Brown and his co author, Dr. Donald Henderson, said they've taken to calling this dinosaur by the nickname Hellboy after the comic book character. Well, I mean, that does that would make sense, I think, for maybe certain other centrosaurs, but I mean, it works. So, um, really small eye horns, though. It's due to the difficulty collecting the specimen and for the challenging preparation process to remove it from the very hard rock in which it was encased. I will say, though, this is quite remarkable. I mean, this looks really good. It is interesting. Despite how small they are compared to the dinosaur's size, I mean, it's not exactly like these horns couldn't do any damage. And if you add the keratin, I would still think it would be an extra 6 to 7 inches or what, 12 to 15 centimeters. Yeah, added length to it. Um, so let's take a look at another creature. The Critosaurus, which is a species of hadrosomorph from Alberta around 79 million years ago during the late Cretaceous. And this individual, oh, also, I didn't mention that the Thanatothuristes existed within North America around um, 79 to 80 million years ago. One of the largest tyrannosaurs at that point. Now, point to Critosaurus, which is likely to have coexisted with Thanatothuristes, were somewhere around 25 to 30 feet in length. They're pushing some around 8 to 9 meters and probably weighed somewhere around 3.5 to 5 tons. And this animal is also a close relative of the Gryposaurus hadrosomorph, which was close to the same size. It is interesting, despite how much further back, the more truer iguanodontids existed. These animals still carried quite iguanodonted traits, but also similar traits to the elasmarians from Australia during the early Cretaceous and the beginning of the late Cretaceous. So, especially animals such as Metabarosaurus from Australia around 112 million years ago, but it's likely that these animals would have lived in herds of 20 to 30 individuals at least. And also, unlike the elasmarians, which looked like didn't really have the ability to walk on all fours, their forelimbs were simply too small to support any weight. These animals did have the ability to walk on all fours, like many of the species of true hadrosaur. So,
Are they walking or are they just at times kind of crawling?
no, they're walking. It's like when you look at Parasaurolophus and Montosaurus, these animals, despite the hadrosaurs having almost in some ways like sort of skinny legs compared to their body size, they still had some muscle on them. They just weren't simply as robust as the earlier iguanodontids, but no, I wouldn't say necessarily crawling. I don't only like the crocodilomorphs would really have some sort of crawling sort of gait. But even then, compared to crocodilians, which do have a crawling gait, the crocodilomorphs had an almost dinosaur-like walk to them when you look at their overall structure.
No, I wasn't referencing that. I was asking, can these guys walk on 2 legs, and at times are they just going down more like a crawl?
Oh, yes, then yes, that would be correct. Very oftentimes, animals like Edmontosaurus, Parasaurolophus, the Critosaurs, or the Gryposaurs in general, would have been walking on 2 legs, especially when they're running. So let's see. Upon discovery, it was instantly noticeable that this specimen was something that had never been seen before, especially considering its unlikely location and unique features. Paleontologists said they hoped to uncover more specimens of Regaliceratops peterhewsi. Dr. Brown added, this discovery also suggests that there are likely more horned dinosaurs out there that we just have not found yet. So we will also be looking for other new species. Yeah, this is really good to see. I mean, that's a very well preserved skull. So let me know what your favorite species of late Cretaceous dinosaur is. And from prehistoric to present, my name is Ethan. This is Creature Guy Live Daily News. Remember to like, comment, subscribe if you love talking about animals, and share this show with everyone you know because nothing is better than all animals all the time.